Alright, back. So, as you guys know, actually, Global finally had a double experience event across all the quests. So all I've been doing is farming Crystal Palace, changing the world with this auto battle team setup. Phoeba, Shara, Cannon, Claire, and Kira. I put in Cult, but my Cult doesn't have a Sphere Fog yet, so I'm still waiting for that, so I can put it in my team. But anyway, we get started here. Auto battle this with friend Quaid. With this team setup, honestly, it doesn't matter what friend you bring. But basically, for a 1 gem, I've been getting a level because you level up, then I gem, and then you just spam the same quest. So 1 gem for 1 level is really good. It's only, I think, 4 days left from the time I make this video. So if you are doing quests and are wondering whether you should gem, I'm like level 301. I'm still, getting 1 level per gem. So if you think that's a good deal, I'd say it is. Just gem it all till you're level 500. Some people are trying to get level 500, so if you do need the level, I do suggest you spam quests, whatever, to get as many gems as you can in this time period at least, or level up to level 214 if you haven't. That is the level where you need to get to have enough cost for a full 7-star team of rare summon units, because starters are only 38 costs, so they cost like 2 costs less. Anyway, while this is going on, I'm gonna talk a little bit about the newest 7-star set, since I really haven't gotten a chance to look at them in too great of a detail. So first off, we have Claire. She's in my team right now. Reason why is she's a good spark buffer, 80% spark damage to all, and 30% battle pistol drop rate increase as well for 3 turns. That's on her SBB. Leader skill, 75% spark damage to all with a 30% attack and defense increase. So leader skill is pretty good. You get spark damage and you get a 30% attack defense increase. Regular hit count 8, multiplier of 3 to get you a 24 drop check regular attack. So if you want to use her in arena, she's alright as well, especially for a fire unit. Really difficult to find good fire units to put in your team, honestly, and Claire is probably the best unit right now for that position. PD is only a 70% spark damage buff with a 280% multiplier, and I think 7 stars flat, if they have AoE, is 500% for SVB multipliers. So reason why Claire is good, Claire is OP when you have Cult in your squad. Basically, she gets Malice Jewel on top of her stats, on top of her spheres, in her extra skill, which stacks on her leader skill as well. So if you have Cult and Claire, in the future, they'll become really OP. But right now, Claire is still a good unit by herself. SBB wise, does sparks really well. 30 hits for SBB is really high. It's difficult to find really good units with high hit counts to maintain infinite super brave burst, as well as generating tons of spark damage. So Claire fits that role really nicely, and leader skill is good as well. So I expect to see a lot of Claire in stuff like Raid and stuff like Frontier Hunter, questing teams, so she's really good all around, even in Arena. And the next unit, of course, Twin Bro Cult. Leader skill is 150% crit damage to all units and 30% HP and recovery increase as well. So this kind of fulfills the role of Cult and Claire leader skill. Tons of damage, tons of stats. So you basically get Malice Jewel on top of all your units, and then you get 150% crit damage, 75% spark damage for your team just by having those two as leads. One friend, one as your own. So if you pull one of those units, make sure you get friends who have the other one if you don't, because they'll become really powerful one line. BB, 60% crit to all your units, so that's the max cap, which means you don't have to use the Mono documents anymore, thank god. Same crit rate as Kira. Kira is more geared toward pure damage output against light and dark bosses, whereas Cult is more of an overall unit, so better for raid and stuff like that. The SBB is better as well. 60% crit, and you get 5 VC for 3 turns. So battle crystal generation, BB gauge filling, all good stuff. So Cult wins in that regard. For regular BB, it's only 3, but it's still good. Hit count 8, same as Claire, generates 24 battle crystals dropped, and both of their stats are nicely well rounded. Cult needs like 30 imps in the attack category, whereas Claire needs 30 imps in the defense. So they get quite tanky in their respective roles. So basically, if you summon and got a Cult or got a Claire, you're pretty much well off for having those as your leads, because a lot of people are using them for raid, for questing, and they're good leads to have in general. While not great by themselves, together they're probably the 2 strongest units that you can put together as of right now. And the next unit, best unit of this batch, Quaid, leader skill, reduced 20% BB cost, and get a 30% battle crystal fill to all the units. So for all our purposes, this is the go-to guy. 100% attack as well, as long as you have 5 elements. BB, fire, water, earth, thunder, AoE. So that's 4 elements and 1 AoE attack. So that's really good. Super Brave Burst gives that to your entire team for 2 turns for AoE. The fire, water, earth, and thunder, and he hits for light and dark himself. So basically, Quaid hits for all 6 elements, and pretty much it's kind of like the attacking Sheeta for 1 turn. So if you have a team of 6 Quaid, you basically at least 5 or 4 Quaid I think is enough to get 2 Lance in there. Get rainbow hits every time. Quaid is probably the best unit of this batch by himself. He fits a very good role for rainbow lead. Like rainbow teams are getting more into it now, competing with Magris, Solita, and Atro, Marina. Extra skill is kind of interesting. Attack, defense, recovery with lower HP. So basically, the lower HP he goes down to, he gets higher stats for attack, defense, and recovery. It's not a great leader skill, but for arena, it can be useful if he almost dies, but then he basically turns the tables around and kills your entire team, which has happened to me before. Next is Diana. Diana is basically the new Lily Mata. 100% chance for 4 to 6 VC when attacked, and you get Heart Crystal Fill to all your units, 75%, 11 hits, 22 drop check. Nothing much to say there, it's okay. Our BB is 4 BC fill for 3 turns, 4 to 5 BC when attacked, and 20% Heart Crystal increase. And then when you go to her SBB, she attacks 18 hits and get 5 BC, Phil for 3 turns, 45 DC when attack, and you get a 20% DC increase. So it's like Lily Mata on steroids. And of course, if that wasn't enough, her extra skill is Phil 4 battle crystals per turn. So if you need BB, Gage, Diana is the way to go. Next is Fadal. Fadal is probably the least favorite unit of this batch because you get a 100% chance to reduce 25 to 40% BB gauge used for all your units. You get a chance for all the status ailments, 15 and 10% for paralysis and curse, 15% for everything else, 10% for poison, paralysis, and curse. Yeah. He has light AoE, 40% chance to reduce 30% of enemy attack and defense, and then he adds weakness and curse to your entire team. SBB is better, 30% chance to reduce 50% attack defense, and he adds injury and poison to your team. So it's not as good as Tora, but still gets the job done. And he gets BB Fill when his attack 2 to 3 battle pistols. So with his setup, he's a better version of Tora for raid purposes because the attack and defense down actually do matter for raid sometimes because you need just the extra damage down to be able to survive. So here, I'm going to do a quick arena and finish off with Ivris, the unit that a lot of people wanted, but I personally think is a little overhyped. So looking at Ivris, you get 4 battle crystal fill each turn to all units, you get heal each turn, and you basically get the nullification leader skill. Hit count is 13, which means you get a 26 drop check. It's like average for arena. You want to use units that hit over 24 drop check for regular attack. Obviously, ideally you'd want like 50 drop check on all of your units, but that's usually not possible. For BB, you get a 250% dark AoE, and you heal and cure all your elements. Interesting fact about Ivris is her Super Brave Burst does not attack, so you get 8 battle crystal fill in 1 turn, heal to all, and you get a cure and no status ailments. That's why I think Ivris is a little bit underwhelming. Her SBB doesn't attack, even though it does give you a huge battle crystal fill and heal. Her UBB is the Angel Idol to 2 random units, which is why a lot of people liked her for that sense. And she gets her own Angel Idol when her HP is under 20%. So, similar to Selena, if you use her in Arena, she acts as a unit that doesn't die from your enemy using their Brave Burst. The only downfall to using Ivris is if you do get her SBD off, it's not gonna do anything because she's gonna heal herself and she will probably get killed next turn. So if you want to use your Ivris for Arena, I recommend getting it just to BB9. If you're using her for, her ultimate Brave Burst, which is the Angel Idol, you can't really use her for Arena that well because in the team setups that we have these days, if your team gets wrecked, turn 2, I guess, and your Ivris is the only one to survive with SBB, well, kind of screwed. Which is why she shouldn't get that much battle crystals if you have her SBB maxed. Which is why probably BB9 is the best if you're just going for Arena, but that's kind of pointless because you need her extra skill. So in reality, Ivris is a little underwhelming, probably the 5th worst on this batch. So if I had to rank them, it would be Quaid number 1, Colton Claire as a combination number 2, because you have to get both of them, or at least one and a friend to really have their full potential. I'd say they're equal on footing in terms of units as Diana, because Diana is just way too much BC gen, even though we don't really need it right now. Ivris after that, and Fadal probably last. So that was basically a review of the latest 7-star batch in a nutshell, while farming, doing later.